You talking to me?
Did you have a brain tumor for breakfast?
Then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
No, funny how? I mean, funny like a clown and you.
I'm Peter Binkman.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Man that doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
Damn!
I'm kind of a big deal.
The first rule of Fight Club is do not talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, baby!
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
And the clock is running.
Isn't it ticking?
The clock is running.
Running.
The clock is running.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's from Apollo 13, I think.
The clock is running!
Because if the clock is ticking, that's kind of like a time bomb.
Raj. Yeah. Grab the cat. Grab the cat.
Woo! Okay, welcome back for another edition. Andy's come over again.
Yeah.
To the house. A child-free house again.
Yeah, amazing.
Beautiful.
It looks like the same day.
It looks like the same day. It's the
yeah.
same weather, you know, and you're wearing the same clothing.
But that's all I have. I don't have any other clothing. I just have this.
Is that all you have?
Yeah.
That's a shame. So, how have you been?
Yeah, good. So, what are we talking about this week?
We're going to cut to the chase because we're kind of good energy going at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. And we watched a new horror film, I guess. Would you say it's a horror film?
I think we're talking about Unfriended, and
Yeah.
I think it's like a new concept film.
What are you guys doing?
Do you guys buy your tickets?
Who's your buddy?
Who is that? This is Laura's account.
Who would hack into a dead girl's account?
Everyone hands up. Who's doing this?
Oh my god.
Unfriended. Rated R.
Now, I have seen something like this before.
Yes, I'm aware that there are films like this before, but I haven't been able to find
Have you ever
any.
heard of the VHS films?
There was was it
Is
Dot?
it called VHS? I'm sure it's called VHS now.
Dot Rec?
No.
Rec Dot.
It's essentially like an anthology of some film of horror. So yes, I think the first one is some guys break into a house and they're told they have to go through all these videos. So every time you see the video, you see what they see, and it's like handheld stuff. They're quite well made films.
I've heard of these. What were they called?
I'm sure they're called VHS.
Probably, yeah. God, we need to do some looking up. 1 minute into the episode, we're looking stuff up. But yeah, no, it's totally fine. All the posties here.
Horror film VHS.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, VHS.
VHS. And
yeah, and I'm sure.
I have heard of them. Maybe something we.
So
can
I think the third one is one of them is like this. It's all done on a laptop.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's where they got the idea for this for Unfriended, and thought we'll expand on that and make it into a film.
Yeah, I think that I haven't seen anything like it before. I mean, like I say, I call this concept film because and naturally, this isn't going to be the first film that we're going to see in this style from now on. I mean, we're going to see a lot of bad films coming from this.
Yeah, you reckon?
And I'm kind of hoping. Well, I mean, if you look at the history of found footage movies, I mean, the last Broadcast and the Blair Witch are the two pivotal films that did it right, that stuck to their guns and did everything according to, this is what they saw and this is from their cameras. Since then, you've had all kinds of directors trying to do different things and just fucking it up because they completely forget the found footage concepts and the rules that you apply to that.
Yeah.
They end up doing crane shots. They end up doing points of view that aren't possible. They start going on the water. They start becoming omnipotent filmmakers again, but just shoddy showmanship.
I suppose the good thing with this is it's sort of like it's in real time.
Yes, yeah.
And it's just an evening with some kids, the anniversary of a friend of theirs who died. She killed herself.
Yeah, somebody who they knew at school who...
So what had happened is this girl had been at a party got herself too drunk, they recorded her, put her onto YouTube and sort of shamed her.
Yeah,
so
because
she
kept her pants. And
she pooed her pants. So they put that online, and clearly the shame of it made she killed herself.
Nothing you do is 100% private on the internet. I think people get lulled into a false sense of security and think that we are anonymous on there, and it's really not that hard to find out who people are.
Yeah, I just think twice. Think before you do.
A year later, she, or maybe somebody else, using her account on Facebook and Skype, starts to contact them and talk to them and stuff.
It starts off being very ambiguous, and which is kind of good, because you're not told too much about it. You first thing you see is the video of the death, and then you see her looking at the video of what basically caused the death.
Yeah, the party. You never see the very end of the video until the end, do you?
Wait, let's call it the scat scandal.
Okay.
The Laura Barnes scat scandal. She's watching that video, then all of a sudden she gets a message from Laura Barnes' account on Facebook saying, "What are you watching?" It sets up the whole thing that Blair, this female protagonist, who is having a night of Skyping with all her friends. This is obviously something that they do quite regularly, and it's kind of like hanging out, but not.
I think it's what a lot of people do these days.
Cybering out.
Yeah.
And which is probably why we don't see so many kids drinking cider outside of corner shops anymore.
Yeah, they're all on Skype.
They're all on Skype, waving their guns around and doing even worse things, maybe.
Putting their hands in blenders.
Yes, why not? So really, the film's concept is very, very basic. Somebody dies, and we don't know the circumstances of how she was shamed and who was responsible, but naturally all the players, kind of like Cluedo, are kind of all put on show for us to watch their interactions. We got a boyfriend and girlfriend who start the film off kind of cybering each other in a way, kind of like just teasing. I mean, we've all done that. We all remember the origins of Skype and what potential it had for revealing things.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you do. You got to figure it out eventually. You can't beat a bit of real flesh. But I mean, did this kind of take you back in a way to when you were younger and kind of discovering Skype?
I've never really done Skype and the webcam thing.
Yeah.
It's never really been something I've done.
Because I've completely lost interest in that whole aspect of the internet, really, and doing this kind of a thing, chat rooms and.
Yeah, I sort of use the internet as just a news tool as well. If I want to find out what's going on, I go online.
I think I'm on YouTube more than anything.
Yeah.
Just looking at stuff and filling my brain with.
By the way, have you seen their review of Pixels?
Half in the bag. Jay and Mike are frauds.
I have, yes.
Brilliant. I'm back to liking them again after that. It really made me happy.
I think what happened is that you felt like they were kind of going out of their way to be obnoxious.
Yeah.
But that was a part of their character.
Oh, no, I get that. I get that. I still just thought it was this holier than thou sort of attitude.
It started getting a little bit,
Yeah, but it seemed a bit.
I've missed their shooting the crap out of each other with guns and Plinkett,
Yeah.
Which they've put out the Plinkett review as well for Star Trek 2009 as well, which is quite good.
Oh, is it? I've not heard
and
that
they
yet.
do a whole deconstruction of where Star Trek was and where it went and how it is now, and not just about the film but about the whole franchise. It's great. It's quite interesting, and how it compares to Star Wars. Which is even, so I've definitely paid. We're talking about Red Letter Media. We're talking about the guys Mike and Jay talking about Star Trek.
But is it as Plinkett?
No, the Plinkett review is Plinkett. Yeah, it is
the
Plinkett.
2009 Star Trek is a Plinkett review.
It is Plinkett review, and it's
And it's like about 2 hours long.
No. Actually, it's not that long. Actually, I think it's about an hour. It's in 2 parts, 2 half-hour segments.
Might listen to that tonight.
Yeah, it's worth watching. I love it. I love what they do, but I think recently they have kind of their half in the bags have kind of been
half-assed in the bag,
and I think that they need
half
to
in the bag,
because I just miss them doing the whole melee thing and screwing over Plinkett, which they've gone back to now.
Yeah.
So, but back to Unfriended, I enjoyed watching it as a concept.
pictures. Post it. I need another drink.
Dude, look.
I thought it was a completely immersive experience.
It is. That's it.
And
you don't want to move away from it.
As a horror film, it's not scary in the slightest.
No, I don't call it.
I think it was meant to be a horror film, but it's not really. But
For younger generation, yes, I think this would probably touch home because this is more their thing. This is what they do. For us, it was kind of like outsiders perverting on a teenage.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, like I said, I found it really immersive. I liked all the parts where as they're all talking on Skype, they're having little conversations with each other. On Facebook, on iMessage and things like that, and they're just bouncing around on the chairs in the background, just doing their thing. And it is you are literally. I mean, you are literally just watching a slice of life. Yeah. For 2 hours. Well, it's about an hour and 20 minutes.
Hour and 20 minutes, is it?
Yeah, it's a very short film.
Yeah, I think it felt long because I had to keep on stopping and starting it.
I don't like that part where she's saying this has happened before and sends a link and it's like that. Do not answer messages from the dead.
No, man. There's no way. I'm not doing that.
The fact that this is all going on, they're all having a conversation, and she's googling things that are happening at the same time, and it puts you in it. It does. It really does.
Yeah, you are literally Blair. It's like
you're one of them.
It's like a computer game in a way, where you are actually the principal character, except you're this young, gorgeous, raven-haired beauty. You do get immersed, and I couldn't pull myself away. Yeah. I could not pull myself away. I felt like I was intruding, which is great. I felt.
You felt a bit dirty, didn't you?
I had feelings about perverting on their relationship on camera, as if I was, because that blank icon, that blank Skype icon, that's us.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
It also builds attention because, as an audience member, I was watching it on my laptop and I desperately wanted to be able to change the view, and you can't.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So you saw it on a computer.
I did.
Did you try to click and stuff like that?
I did. I found myself touching my computer.
That's very interesting.
See, when we were filming it, that was something that both the writer and the director talked about, is they were hoping that, when you're watching the cursor move around the screen, that you feel like you're part of it and you almost want to, get in there and type and do things. So that's really great that you actually felt that way, because that was definitely the intention.
It is us, and we're kind of willing, because we know it's a horror film, we are willing the horror to kind of progress, and that's exactly what the ghost of Laura Barnes is wanting as well, which is fascinating.
I love the whole Ghost in the Machine concept.
Yes.
It's now our lives are so on the internet, so we're also,
ghosts have to go there too.
So now that's where they go. It's like a natural progression, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like we'll not just haunt houses, we'll haunt the internet.
Well, the ghosts are obviously just standing around them going, "Ooh, I'm going to get you," and it's not working because okay,
exactly.
That's it. I'm going in.
What's all these bumps that's been going on in the house? Why do things keep moving? I don't care. I'm on the internet.
Yeah, I'm on the internet.
That doesn't matter. All right, well, I'm going to have to go in there now.
Spotify, a little bit of Hendrix.
Yeah,
drowns it out.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the fact that it sort of hacked all their accounts. So they all switched the volume off on all their computers, the microphone on all their computers, and all of a sudden whatever it is, switches all back on, and it's completely in control of everything.
And I love that. I mean, okay, there is that conceit about. I mean, we talked about Poltergeist, about what a poltergeist does and what it can do.
Yeah. But again, with this, it's left completely ambiguous. You don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is. You don't know if it's a ghost.
You don't know if it's a ghost of her. It could.
Yeah, or it could just be some psycho. So it is ambiguous, and that's nice.
Because when it had that big lad's death, it's just a webcam watching him. Well, that you assume. So when he opens, he moves all that rubbish out of the way, and he looks. All of a sudden, whatever he's looking at has done something to him.
And I'm sorry,
and then he goes plays with the blender.
I don't believe that the ghost of Lauren Barnes went to Best Buy, bought a webcam, and then set it up. This isn't like this is my first year anniversary, and I'm going to get to the bottom of who did this, and I'm going to do all this elaborate stuff. So in a way, I kind of lean away from the supernatural, paranormal, and look more into the idea of it being a revenge.
Her parents.
Oh, yeah.
You can imagine that happened to your daughter, and then you go onto YouTube and you see that video of your own daughter who got too drunk at a party, shit herself, and everyone thought it was really funny.
And you could literally just go mad wanting to seek revenge. And yeah,
so this
why not?
could be a revenge thriller.
It could be a revenge thriller rather than a horror. Yes, and it's psychological because it does affect you mentally because you are feeling things all the way through it. There's not one moment where you're disengaged.
No, absolutely not.
Because the internet does that. And that's the power of computers and the internet. You are, and that's probably why some people, but the ones who hated it, basically wanted to go and watch a film experience. This is not a film experience. This is
it's a slice of
it's a concept.
Yeah, it's like just watching someone's evening.
Yeah, it's more artistic than that, and I think that's probably where people are missing out. I mean, I've actually been to the Laura Barnes account as well on Facebook, and people are angry. They're out on there saying this account should be closed. It's a shameful thing for movie producers to be scaring children and making them believe that they're going to be stalked by a killer ghost. It's really inappropriate. And I just I said, guys, relax and let's just play along with it. It's a game. There's a lot more worse things that teenagers are believing about themselves, about life, about the world that are on the internet. This is purely a film. They know it. They wouldn't be on this account if they hadn't seen Unfriended.
And that's great because all of a sudden you've watched the film and then you can sort of be part of that film by commenting on Facebook and going to the Laura Barnes account.
They literally are. They're basically the parent of Laura Barnes is. I mean, this is outside of the film. The producers are still posting as a parent to this day on the Laura Barnes Rest in Peace page on Facebook, putting out their little tidbits about how much they miss their little girl, and they're still doing it now. And this is rhizomatic marketing, like they did with Blair Witch before the movie came out, where they put out this idea of these children going missing, and then they said, well, we found this film footage, we're going to piece it together, and then we're going to put it out. It was all done systematically, bit by bit, on the internet before the film even came out.
That's very clever.
Now they're doing this is kind of like keeping the promotion together. This is a really, really clever concept, and it is freaking people out because they can't handle it. As being, especially parents who are kind of like thinking this is wrong. They shouldn't be doing this. They said movie producers shouldn't be threatening children.
They're not threatening
Nobody's threatening anybody. The film is a movie, and you either separate reality or fantasy. This is the biggest challenge that children can have with that ability to separate reality and fantasy.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest problem children have is growing up not knowing the difference, not being conscious of what they look like and thinking I have to be thin and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
That's what parents should be scared of, not that. Actually, when I was watching it, Tash said, "Oh, we've got all this to come with River." I was like, what? This whole being online and talking to the friends all the time constantly and stuff like that.
That kind of thing, that element of it.
Yeah, not the getting drunk, shitting yourself at a party. Well, we've all done that.
But that's the thing, that this film has layers, so many layers. I mean, we talked about the marketing layer of it, which is still going on. We've got the layer of it being about teenagers and how teenagers interact these days, which is different to how we did. You've got the thing about cyberbullying, you've got the paranormal layer, but then you've also got the psychological revenge layer and the technology layer.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
So many things going on, even though the premise is so basic. It puts you wherever you want to be, where your brain is actually working. It's got a piece for everybody, and that's fascinating. But you're right about that. I'm thinking I have no idea what Aspen's going to be doing when he's a teenager, and how immersive the world is going to be.
Yeah, is Facebook good or bad?
This is a good question.
Because I think we really need the internet to be that thing that we all dreamed of it being. We need it to connect us all together. We need it to introduce us to new ideas and new people and different perspectives. And it's not going to do that if it leaves us all isolated in a web of one.
For cyberbullying, it's definitely bad. I mean, I can understand if you look at that layer for a minute, cyberbullying itself. They say that nowadays you can't just be bullied at school. You can basically, the bully can find you at home through the internet.
Especially online bullying, cyberbullying. I mean, you don't even know who these people are. There's not a real face. They have a picture as their avatar, but you don't even know if it's really them. So I wouldn't put too much stock into what these people are doing or saying, but also protect yourself. Don't I mean, my message would be, don't put everything out there on the internet that could potentially harm you in the future. Even if you delete it, it's somewhere in the clouds.
And don't respond either. Don't respond, because that just feeds them.
It just feeds them, yeah.
Well, you can always block them, I guess.
But that doesn't mean that they're not obsessed with finding ways of getting to you through your friends and through other ways. And
yeah, because I had someone who I have no interest in ever talking to add me on Facebook. Didn't accept them. Not interested. And then someone added me who was born on the 25th of December and was just friends with some of the people at work.
Yeah.
Clearly a fake account. Freaked me out. 3 days later, I'm paranoid as it is, 3 days later, someone else added me who... It was just like this weird... It was a picture of this very beautiful girl, and then when you click on the other pictures, it was just like this younger, Oriental looking girl. Thinking...
Weird. You didn't
fake
accept.
account. Didn't accept, no, not a chance.
No.
So I was like, right. It just freaked me out. And I come off Facebook. Not just because of that, because, as you know, I have this love-hate thing with it. Well, I'll not be on Facebook for 6 months, then I'll go on, and then I'll come back off.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't like the fact that people can find me. I've got a presence that people can always... Twitter, I can kind of get on with. I like Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter isn't kind of like... Twitter's just ramblings, little ramblings, and that's fine. But Facebook is literally it's a wall of your life.
Yeah.
And it's you. And people kind of use it to kind of project themselves. I mean, I can't stand that idea of it. And sometimes I get caught writing a post and I look at it and think, I don't want to tell them this. Delete.
Yeah, that's it. I'll be driving, I'll think of something really witty and I'll pull over, so I'll put that as a status. Because everyone will think I'm really clever because I've thought of something clever and funny. I'm thinking, what am I doing?
What is going on here? What are we doing?
What exactly?
I don't have my family on my Facebook.
Yeah, no.
And for one reason is that I don't recognise them as the people that they really are. They're kind of pretending to be something that they're not. That they think that they're this popular entity when actually everybody thinks that they're this popular entity on Facebook, that everybody's looking at them, that you are the centre of the Facebook universe, and you have all these people looking at you. But it just turns out that everybody's the same, but they don't get that, and it's kind of an odd kind of quasi, I don't care what you're doing, as long as everybody loves what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of attitude that rips me apart, and I ended up not adding my family to this new account because I don't like to know them in that way. I like them to ring me up and say, so what's new in your life? And I tell them what I want them to know.
Yeah.
Rather than saying, well, I've got nothing new to say because I can clearly see you're having fun or not having fun because you're on Facebook. And I just don't like seeing them every day.
And it's like people, every aspect of their day, they put a status about it.
Yeah.
I was angering me. Oh, couldn't wake up this morning, but thankfully I've had my yogurt and I've had some fruit. Picture.
For you. A picture of my yogurt and my fruit.
And then now off to the gym. Then status where they are.
Yeah.
Was it check-in?
I love that. Yeah, that whole thing where they show people where they are. They're not at home. Let's go burgle them, shall we?
Right. There was a rapper called Ironic, right? But it was spelt with a K at the end instead of a C. And it made me laugh this because he put a Facebook comment saying going to such a shop to buy these trainers. I can't wait to get them. Checking when he was at the shop, bought these ridiculously expensive trainers, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, great trainers, mate!" He said, "On my way home, can't wait to put my new trainers on." He got robbed outside of his house. You know what I mean?
It's a sad thing because people don't realise this. I mean, my friend was trying to sell her house through Facebook, putting pictures of it up and putting the address up, and then having dinner with my family at the local pub, or I'm off to Lincoln.
Yeah.
So straight away she's got a picture of everything in her house, and the address is in a post. And I was like, I'm not even going to warn you. You're stupid enough to not even think about it yourself. I never, Catherine and I have a rule. We never actually tell people when we're going somewhere. We always tell them when we've come back.
Yeah.
If we even need to tell them. I mean, we don't even post pictures of where we go anymore. I just don't want to share that with people. It's what we do.
Exactly. You know? And that taking all that into
consideration,
why have Facebook?
It's an odd thing. I mean, we've been trying very much to kind of get this podcast.
I think it's right. Okay,
on there. That's not working.
As a marketing tool, it should be great a way to find people. But then it also seems that friends and family who will support any kind of picture I put up of my daughter, oh, she's so beautiful, well done, look how much she's grown up.
Yeah.
But then I say, oh, we've done this podcast about whatever it is this week, please listen. Couldn't care less. It's not about them.
No.
It's about something.
Yeah.
It's easy to say your son looks amazing, look how happy he looks in that picture. And then it's not about you, it's about them feeling good about saying something nice about you.
Yeah.
But then when you put something on that you're actually trying to do something creative and make a little bit of a difference, couldn't care less, because it's not about them. They have to invest time to listen to that, and they're like, no, I've got my own life.
Exactly, and I think that's exactly it. By saying how beautiful your child is, and how it makes them feel good because they've said something nice about you or your child, and it affects them. It's kind of like a connectivity. But
for them to invest their precious time away from Facebook and to listen to a podcast we do,
but
it's altruistic.
They don't even have to listen. They can just like every post, something, or
share it.
And
so
just
then
say,
maybe the laws of average would say someone will go, "Oh, I like X-Men. I'll listen to that and see what they say about it," or whatever it might be. But they don't want to do.
They don't want to do it, and I find that bizarre because they always want you to do that for them.
Yeah.
And I used to, when I first started back in 2009, everybody had a podcast. Everybody I knew in America had a podcast. They've stopped doing it now. They've kind of split off and done their own things, which is much better because all we were doing was like forwarding and sharing people's posts and things. I did one podcast where I actually did a poster. It was our Podfling podcast. And we were really excited because beforehand we did a trailer. And everybody liked the trailer. We were excited because everybody was kind of excited about it. And they said, oh, great, this looks good. So we made the first episode, we put a poster up, and we tagged every single one of our friends in the poster. Oh my God, were they happy about that? No. I got endless messages from people saying, why am I tagged on this? Why have you added me here? What's this? I said, well, you liked the trailer. I thought you'd appreciate, being a part of our big launch. And it was like absolute. They didn't want it on their wall. They didn't want anything. I said no. And one person said, "Hi." This was a comedian in Los Angeles who I'm not going to mention. I'm no longer friends with her anymore. She's a very selfish bitch. Right. She said, "Hi, I very appreciate your support in my account, but please don't add me in your things because I get so many people requesting it, and I don't want to kind of feel like I have to like everybody's stuff because then I get inundated. But thank you very much for supporting my stuff." And I was kind of like, well, delete. For what it's worth, it's not really, other than that, for mending fences, maybe. When
someone says to you, "Oh right, are you on Facebook?" Say no. It's like you're ostracised for not being on Facebook. Almost.
Yeah, well,
it's such
I was
an
bullied to go on.
Yeah, it's such an alien concept for people to not be on it.
Yeah, and I think that it's good. I think maybe it might be a good idea for us to kind of shut down on our Facebook side of things because literally, nobody's really paying attention to frame by frame on it. I think we need to just focus purely, and this is kind of like my revelation to you. I'd rather just not post on there at all and just keep it to Twitter and just keep it where it actually works.
Twitter, you seem to find the people
amazing support.
Yeah, because the amazing things of hashtags work well on Twitter really well, and you can find your people.
Yeah.
So I honestly think Love and Mercy podcast did well because by our own standards did well.
Yeah.
Because I could tag it to Brian Wilson and Al Jardine and stuff, and then people see it and think, "Well, I'll listen to it."
It was the Firefly episode that did that, and the fans really took it and rode with it for us for a while, and that was a phenomenal couple of weeks at least of interest, and I think I really enjoyed it. I think we need to kind of focus on those people because they are the pulse that's keeping us going, really.
Well, I think when Con Man comes out, we will
ride that boat again.
Definitely do a whole Con Man thing.
So
well, bringing it back to Unfriended then, it has many levels. It's a very immersive experience. I don't think any part of it was scary. There was no shock in it. My own criticism I have on it, do you use the pixelation thing too much? So when all hell's breaking loose,
only when hell's breaking loose does it
gets all pixelated, and I was like, that's probably we didn't have the money to have amazing visuals.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a
but the distorting distorting Mitch's face kind of made him look freaky a little bit, and that was the reason behind it. It adds a kind of freakiness to the shot. You don't know what's happening for a second, and I think that's probably what they were trying to do.
I thought it just got a bit tiresome when it was all the time. But I suppose that's my only criticism of it.
The acting is good, though. I mean, if you actually think about these people here are actually actors. They're not, you're not watching people on a Skype call. They're actually acting.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you go about putting this together? I mean, if you're making a normal film about a group of kids, you've got 5 kids who are being stalked by, say, a psycho mom whose daughter died of a scandal.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that in a normal kind of like Final Destination type of film, you'd just shoot it like a normal film and it would just been flat and boring and what you've seen before 100 times, million times. That's exaggerating. But with this, you've got something so different that it's not a film. But how do you go about making that?
I think what was so interesting about it is that we were isolated in our own rooms, but at the same time, we were all in the same house, with the exception of Jacob, who was annexed out to like the garage workshop area.
It was like a converted wood shop shed. Let's just call it what it was.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, but we were all wired in with the Skype program that we were filming with. So even though we were separate, we were all on a Skype call, whether or not we were filming. So, they call cut. We can all talk to each other over Skype and be like, oh, I like this bit or blah, blah, blah. Or not even talk about the movie and just be like, what's for lunch,
Yeah.
So it was like we were in the same room even though we weren't.
I mean, you think, okay, what do I need to do? Do I divide all the different elements? Do I divide all the chats? That's kind of like one script. Do I divide all the visual images? Is that another script? Is it like layer upon? I'd be very fascinated when the DVD when I actually look at the extras on the DVD, because to me it seems like an impossible task to put all this together with the mindset of a filmmaker, because you're not making it in the same way. So whoever did this as a first-time concept film, I know it's been done before, but this is kind of really the first time it's actually been done well.
Yeah, well, like I said, it was done well in VHS. I can't remember which it was, like 2 or 3. And we should talk about them, I think. Because it's like an anthology. There's usually about 4 stories.
Yeah.
And like the last one, at the end, was like apocalyptic.
Yeah.
A
bit too far.
No, it was great. It was just one of the stories was the end of time. It was like, the Horsemen of the Apocalypse came up and stuff like that. They're really well done. They sort of say, right, in fact, we definitely have to do this. Because they get 4 good directors, and they say, right, you make a short horror film, you make a short horror film, you make a short horror film, and we'll put it together as an anthology, and with this overriding art. They're really good. They're good films. I really enjoy them. And so one of them was just like this, but it was just between a guy and the girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's a little bit more basic, but with the thread of all the films together.
It just had this good moment where she's walking around the house. She's either in the house on her own or babysitting. I can't quite. I think she's in the house on her own. She's just talking to this fella, and this fella goes, "Oh, I thought you said you're on your own." He said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, who's that behind you?" It was that kind of thing, and then she's like stops, looks around. There's no one there, but he can see someone on the actual PC.
That's kind of interesting.
It's really well done. Yeah. So they've seen that and thought, let's do that, but really go to them. So it's nowhere near as immersive as this.
Yeah,
it's just a nice idea,
Technically, I don't understand how, as somebody who knows film editing pretty well, who knows the filmmaking process pretty well, this I'd be like, very confused about.
Yeah, how to
do it, and I think that in itself is clever, and they're probably going to come onto the DVD and explain it really simply, and it's going to be like, oh,
I get it.
Oh, so it's that easy. But then if they do the how-to on the DVD, then you are going to expect a lot of really bad rip-offs of this movie.
Yeah.
Because you can't beat. This is actually really, really good. I mean, these kids are very well chosen. They're very. I mean,
the realistic characters, realistic people.
I mean, were they all shot separately? Were they all filmed? Did they actually have different rooms surrounding them with different cameras, and they're all actually doing the whole thing together, but they're all in their own little rooms? It's baffling to me. I mean, I can imagine that it's kind of like a small set,
yeah.
And they're all just chatting with each other, and they've all got the computers in front of them. They've just got all the cameras there doing them live at the same time, but it's not like that. No way, and that is incredible. This was an interesting part of that halfway through when
it
they're
was
trying
quite
to kill
nail biting. That Trojan, the guy, and she can't do it because she's got too many. She's ever downloaded stuff that is stopping her from emptying her trash, and you were kind of like, do it quicker, you know. It was quite nail biting.
But this is quite a typical thing of Apple that happens. I mean,
it
sometimes
happens all the time.
Sometimes you can't delete a file in your movie, iMovies or whatever, because it's been opened somewhere else.
Yeah,
or,
and you're trying to find where it was. Just shut that down, and then you can delete it.
And that was really nail biting, and I think that worked really well. And the fact that he actually came up with the idea and actually tried to talk to everybody to do this. I was totally immersed. I was like really excited.
Yeah.
And you know what? And you forget about the idea of it being a ghost. You do. You kind of just slip into the whole idea that somebody's really going at them here, and it's not your typical slasher teenage movie.
It's not. I'm impressed.
Yeah,
I was impressed by it.
And I'm surprised. I'm actually glad that you were, because I kind of thought that you would be on the same level as me on this, and I think this is probably the first time we've both been on the same level with a horror movie in a way.
Apart from Starry Eyes.
Yeah, of course.
And things like that.
And it follows, okay, maybe we have been. But yeah, this is the kind of thing that really excites, because you don't know what's going on behind them in the shots as well. You're kind of waiting for something. Is that a samurai sword in the...
yeah, I think so.
There.
So yeah, Unfriended.
Yeah, Unfriended. It's definitely worth watching, and be very aware that there are going to be lots and lots of rip-offs coming out.
Called Unblocked.
Okay, let's name them all. Come on, let's make our own list.
Yeah, quick. We've got 5 minutes,
okay,
right?
Unblocked.
Unblocked. Blocked.
Blocked, of course.
Kill Book. Face Death.
Tweet. Shit, I can't think of it. Faces of book death.
Insta death.
I'm not very good at this. Insta death. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ghostgram.
Spotify me.
Yeah. iDeath. iGhost. You could just put an I in front of anything.
Death Space.
Death Space. Yeah. My face.
Drop Dead Box.
Drop Dead Box. That's good.
Drop Dead Box.
Yeah.
Let's name. If we name them all now, then they'll be like, oh, we've already done. They've already thought of that.
Yeah. Ghost Tunes.
Ghost Tunes. Ooh. Yeah. Or Slaughter Tunes.
Slaughter Tunes.
Death Book. Death Book's been done. Yeah.
What was the...
Come on. There's so many. There's.
What was the
Tululu.
Twatter. You've got Periscope now, haven't you?
Deathflix.
Deathscope.
Deathscope. Or Perideath. Perikill.
Yeah, hang with your murderer.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Hang with, yeah.
Death a meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a death.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's rest in peace, Laura Barnes. There, you can see that's actually. So if you were, for example, if you were on Facebook, you'd be able to go there, and there'll be little tidbits from Laura Barnes' parents.
As it stands right now, I don't think I will ever go on Facebook.
How you feel
again.
about it?
I don't think I ever want to. I don't think.
Yeah.
Psychologically, it's something because I'm such a paranoid guy and I'm scared of stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. It's not a healthy place for me to be.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to keep it open for one of a business channel, but for Facebook, for frame by frame. I think we're just gonna. If anybody's watching it on frame by frame on Facebook, then you already know that you can get it on iTunes. You already know that you can find us on Twitter. You already know that we're going to be Instagramming stuff, and just get over there and if you want to see some glorious posters and make mouse mats for your friends, then you can drop us an email.
Exactly. So for this week, I think we shall say, what was it? Take me to the beaver. Like
You've forgotten your
Take me to your beaver.
Take me to your beaver.
What was it?
To the beaver.
To the beaver. Is that what it was?
I don't know.
I can't remember. No matter.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great phrase.
Something to do with beavers.
Okay.
Yeah, Unfriended. Interesting. Check it out.
Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Next week. Bye. Beaver.
I'm a successful social media consultant, even though I've never had a thought or original idea in my life. But because my firm charges lots of money, we've put social media on the tongues of some of the biggest companies in the world without providing an actual service. To survive in the new internet economy, you need to come up with a new service or product that people will want. Not likely, right? But social media eliminates the need to provide value to anyone. Let me give you an example. My firm was contracted by Cheetos, so we went around the room, talked about ways to leverage their brand online, and it turned out none of us had any original ideas. So instead, we gave them a Facebook page. Eventually, people liked it. These people liked Cheetos, even though they had no reason to, as we gave them no incentive. And remember, any teenager could have done what we did for no money and much faster. Using your brains to think of an idea and your skills to implement it, that's the old model. And like anything that's old and requires effort, it's inefficient. Facebook is already invented. We simply need to know it exists, and we can pay ourselves richly as middlemen to leech off of their work. Our firm was hired to expand Speed Stick Deodorant's Twitter footprint. They already had a Twitter feed, and we, of course, had no original ideas. So we hired a separate company to create thousands of fake Twitter accounts designed only to follow Speedstick. We were able to increase the number of accounts following Speedstick from 300 to 900,000 in less than a week. And the best part is, all of these accounts were robots. So we didn't have to tweet anything because nobody was reading it. Companies don't care if their followers are real or not. So they'll pay you either way.